Hey guys, Ruck here, and today we're going to talk about crafting. Now I'm going to run you through a few steps of my thought process, and hopefully you can apply that to craft your own item. Now today I'm crafting a claw, but using the 5 steps I'm going to show you, hopefully you can copy and paste that into, I don't know, belt, ring, whatever it is, okay? So step 1 is finding the requirements. What are the vital modifiers you need on that piece of gear to make it work? Number 2, go to poedb.tw. Look up the mods, see if they're prefixes, suffixes, what other prefixes or suffixes are around. Maybe there's some sexy delve mod or elder mod that can better enhance a piece of gear or something. And then step 3, have a look at the crafting bench. See if we can cut any corners there, make life a bit easier on ourselves with a multi-mod or something for the less important mods. Then 4, bit of proof of concept in Path of Building, make a dummy version, add it to the build, just make sure that the numbers are what we want. Are we hitting the right breakpoints we want? Is the item that we're about to craft and spend a few X on going to do what we want to do? And then number 5, well, let's bloody well craft it, mate. All right, so let's get into the requirements. So the requirement for my Herald of Agony melee build is attack speed, poison on hit, and an open suffix for trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. So I've got one that already has that kind of stuff, but we can make a better one, I think. So with those 3 things in mind, we go to poedb.tw. Nailed it. Do you have any takes that took me to say that properly? So we can see attack speeds here goes up to 27% as tier 1, and it's a suffix. We can see chance of poison on hit goes up to 30% as tier 1. It's also a suffix, which means that, remember we needed this crafted suffix as well. So trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. So that's all our suffixes spoken for, which makes things a little bit tricky, right? Because we have to hit T1 with an open suffix. And I fooled around a bit with like shuddering and corroded and different fossils and stuff, and I just wasn't really getting anywhere. So I was thinking, how can we multi-mod this? Remember I was talking about the crafting bench? Let's just decide what is the most important mod. Let's hit that and then multi-mod the rest on. Because while attack speed and chance of poison are pretty nice, we can also crafting bench a competitive kind of mod on it. Now these, I would recommend definitely checking out the Delve prefixes and suffixes. It's got some really sexy stuff, and I find that it's easier to hit these than say like the sexy Elder and Shaper stuff. For the purposes of this claw, we don't really need any of this. But when we go through this, the Delve prefixes, keeping in mind that we're playing a minion build, what is this? Minions deal 80% increased damage. Now I plug that into POB and it's actually way more damage. Like I am comfortable losing a bit of attack speed, going from a natural T1 attack speed to a crafted attack speed with that 80% extra damage. So now we've found the one mod that we can't live without. It's a prefix. And so to multi-mod it, multi-mod's a suffix. So we've got 1 prefix, 1 suffix. But remember I was saying we need 3 suffixes for attack speed, poison, trigger to socketed spell when you cast an attack, whatever. So we've got 1 too many suffixes, which leads me to the next step. The crafting bench. Can the crafting bench make life easier? Well, in this case, it actually can. So if we search for poison, the crafting bench has a prefix for a chance to poison. Now it's 10% less than the natural T1 of 30%, but it's a prefix. And for what I want to achieve, I think it's worth it. Because now we have 2 prefixes. Minions deal additional damage, chance to poison on hit, which we've taken from the suffixes. So now we've got 3 suffixes free. Attack speed, multi-mod, and trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. Okay, now we jump into POB and pseudo-craft the item that we've been working on. So here's one I prepared earlier. So you can see here, we've got the minions deal increased damage. Got kind of multiple crafted modifiers, which then allows us to put on the chance to poison on hit hybrid and attack speed, and then trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill. Now, this leaves 1 prefix free, which we're not too concerned about. There's like 1 or 2 useful things, but because we have to hit this and then scour off a bunch of stuff, that's just going to make life a bit easier if we can prefix lock and maybe get lucky with an annul or something, and then craft the rest. So to do this, to get this crafted claw, craft item, create, go crazy with any of the natural stuff, or add modifier, crafting bench, go crazy with this. You can see all the multi-mod stuff is down the bottom. Now for the delve stuff, it doesn't show up. You've got the essences there. But for the delve stuff, copy and paste what it says in poedb.tw, something like, minions, myons, whatever, deal, blah, 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 add, right? And then you fool around with it till you get something like this. You add it to your build, you make sure you're hitting all the breakpoints and caps and whatever that you need to hit. And then once you've committed to this plan, you buy the base, buy some fossils, and then you gosh darn craft it. All right, so we've crafted up 3 viable claws. This one's my favorite. So we've got the T1 minion damage, and then we've got a T2 attack speed, which is quite nice. Here we've just got T1 minion damage, and here we've got T1 minion damage with oh no, wait, sorry. That one has minion damage and T4 attack speed, and that one just has minion damage. So it's going to be expensive to get what we want, but let's focus on this one first. So it's full suffixes. What we're going to do is try and annul a suffix. If we've kept attack speed, we'll have a 50-50 chance of a good annul. If on the second annul we hit the fire damage, we'll do prefixes can't be changed and do another 50-50 annul. If we hit it, then we'll multi-mod it and finish it off. So let's try that. All right, so now we hit it with another 50-50. We hit the attack speed. All right, that's still useful. So this one, so same deal, we need to get rid of a suffix. Yeah, so we got rid of the suffix. So now the 50-50 to try and get rid of that accuracy rating or the prefix. And we hit attack speed. Oh no, we hit minion damage. So that one's completely useless. So we'll see if we can hit a suffix. Yeah, so we hit a suffix. So this can be our backup one. What we can put on this is prefixes can't be changed. Annul off the 2 suffixes and then multi-mod it. So let's put this one away because it is no good to us right now. So I probably prefer this one because it's got no prefixes and we can work some magic with that. So let's go put on prefixes can't be changed. Now I don't want to scour it because then it will go back to magic, I think, right? Right. All right, so we hit 80%. Took more divines, I'm willing to admit. But that's the way she goes. Alright, so now we've got multi-mod. Let's go back to POB and work out what we need to put on it. Poison, attack speed, and trigger a socketed spell when you use the skill. And then I think we've got a spare prefix, so we'll see what we do with that. Alright. So poison. 20%. Fantastic. Attack speed. Oh, this is going to be pricey, hey. Ugh. Oh, that sucks. Oh well. And trigger. Alright, and seeing as we have a prefix free, I'll pop on quality for a bit more juice from Enfeeble. Oh, that needs to be GCP'd up. I'm going to do that. And what do we got? 7%. Alright, so if we really wanted, we could divine that attack speed, but everything else is perfect, so we'll see. And here's the finished product. Now remember, we started with the requirements of attack speed, poison on hit. When we looked up what other mods were available, we could see that we could get minions deal increased damage. So then using bound fossils, we spam that till we got it. Then using annuls and prefixes can't be changed, we isolated it. Then we multi-modded it, added all the stuff we wanted. A nice little bonus was that there was a spare prefix for quality of socketed gems, which helps a lot with Enfeeble and things like that. The whole thing costed about 5x, which is a bit of money, but for something this niche, you just won't find it. So when you need to craft something niche like this, where you can reliably hit one mod and then multi-craft the rest, multi-mod the rest, I hope this has helped you go through my thought process for how to plan it all out and execute it. All right, that's it for me. Hit subscribe. Catch me on Twitch most days. Hit follow. Hit all the things. Just hit everything around you. All right, love you guys. Bye.